Hello, good morning. I can see that we have Sarah here. Hi, Sarah. How you going? Great to see you. And we go live officially in just a couple of minutes from now. Just waiting for Michael to join us as well. So I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I don't know if Laurie's still here. I know that this is really late for her, and for anyone in the US, it is late, and of course it's difficult. I mean, time zones, it's just crazy. Trying to marry up time zones is always so difficult. And if you're watching this later, welcome. I'm Lynn, and joining me today we're going to have Michael. He's from New Zealand, I'm from Australia. My husband and I are traveling for a year, and Michael, I believe, is on what is basically an annual trip he makes to Germany every year to meet up with family and I believe school friends and all of that sort of thing. Hi, Jay. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us. So we're just waiting for Michael to join us. He should be along any moment now. And as soon as he does, hi, Mary Lou. Great to see you. So while we're waiting for Michael, we're sitting here in my cousin's, or Richard's cousin's actually, little one-bedroom apartment. And look, over there, there's the world. And we're doing our best to try and conquer it. All right, so I can see Michael's joined us. Let's just bring him in and add him over here. Hi, Michael. How are you going?
Good morning, Lynn.
Good morning.
Guten Morgen. Haven't seen you for a while.
Yes. So I don't know. Can you see the chat, Michael, or do I need to let you know what's happening in the chat? You can't see the
I
chat,
can't
can you?
I can't see the chat. No.
Okay. Well, let me introduce you
Oh yeah,
to.
I can actually now see it. I clicked one of these buttons here.
Oh, perfect.
do you
All right.
do you hear
So
the
we
church
have.
do you hear the church bells?
I do. Let's listen to them.
Boom. Bang on 9 o'clock.
Excellent. So we have with us already this morning. We have Sarah and Jay, Mary Lou, Natasha.
Good morning,
Yep.
Sarah
So
and Mary Lou, Natasha. Good morning.
Jay. Yeah. So from various different places. I think Sarah's from the UK. Mary Lou and Jay are in the US, and Natasha. I'm not sure where you are, Natasha. Let me know where you're from, because I don't actually know where you are, Natasha. So Michael is in. Oh, okay. Let me get this right. I actually did look it up. Seligenstadt. Seligenstadt. Tell us where they're
Seligenstadt am Main.
on Main. So you're on the Main River, which is the same river that Frankfurt is on. Natasha's in Vancouver. There we go. So hi to Vancouver.
Hi,
Um,
Natasha.
and Seligenstadt is on the same river that Frankfurt's on. Is that correct?
That's right. About 35 kilometers away, southeast. Yeah.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about the town without giving away too much. Tell us about a little bit about the town.
Well, I just want to show you this beautiful picture. I'm looking at it. You can't see it, but I just switched my camera around because this is quite impressive because it's a stunning day today. Let me try.
Yeah, do that.
Oh, just sorry, I need to.
That's okay.
Well,
Michael's only just been
look at that.
introduced to this. Ah,
Look at that.
oh my gosh,
That
look at that.
that is the basilica. So basically, I'm standing here. Seligenstadt is a village about 15,000 people. Still, there's a couple of smaller villages nearby, but it's about 35 kilometers away. But from Frankfurt, we got here the basilica, which is the oldest basilica church north of the European Alps.
Oh,
So this is a massive construction. They started around about 820,
mm-hmm.
and and I just swing around just briefly. This is the old Benedict Gardens, and that's one
Yes.
of the key highlights when people come to Seligenstadt. It's about 10,000 square meter of garden these guys done in the old days.
Wow,
So yeah, that's where I am, and yeah,
it
it's a
looks
it,
gorgeous. Just looks
yeah, it
beautiful.
is. It is. It is.
We'll get to it later, but I think you're going to show some of that on your tour next weekend. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. So it's yeah. I don't want to I want to. I could start right now, but I won't do that. But
No,
there's
that's
so
fine.
much history. There's so much history, and I was born here 60 years ago, and I moved to New Zealand 35 years ago. So I'm kind of a dual citizen of the world, half New Zealand and half Germany.
Nice.
And yeah, it's full of history, and it's just has a marketplace and what you would just visualize of an old German village. And they kept everything in really good nick here. But yeah, we
Fantastic.
can talk about that later.
All right, so I've just noticed a couple more people. Laurie has joined us. Laurie, I think, is in Chicago, and Catherine's joined us from the UK. So welcome, guys. Lovely to see you. And Laurie, and all those in the US, we do appreciate how late it is in the US, and thank you so much. Oh, I used a word. Michael, tell me if you know this word. I used a word, and Laurie is giving me a question mark. I said that you're recovering from a lurgy. Does that Do you understand that word when I say you're recovering from a lurgy?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
Allergy, allergy.
Well, you've had
No.
the flu-y thing. You've had the
Oh
flu-y thing.
yeah, I had a bit of a head cold. I went through Singapore the other day, and as you do, those airports. I mean, they're full of bugs, really.
You
And
take your
but I have recovered. Yep.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. So I'm going to actually add something to my screen. So I want to show everyone where I've been. I don't know if you'll see this. We're experimenting with this, guys. So having Michael on as a guest, I'm actually going to add an image to the screen. And okay, can you see that, Michael?
Yes, I can. Cologne.
So that's where we are right now. So I actually gave a presentation the other day, a tour where we walked along the riverside here. So that's where we are right now. We're leaving here tonight. So what you're looking at there is the beautiful Köln Cathedral alongside one of the 7 bridges in Cologne. So let's get back here. So what I also want to show, I'm actually going to do a little bit of another experiment. I think I'm going to share my screen and show where I am in relation to Michael. Let's see if I can bring up the map that I've got here. This is all fingers crossed. Okay, now can you see that? Can everybody see that?
It's coming on. Not yet. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the little red flag down the bottom there, the pin, that's where Michael is. And right up the top left is where we are in Delbruck, which is a suburb to the northeast of Cologne. If you were to travel by car, it would be almost 3 hours to get from me to Michael. So let's get rid of that and come
Yeah,
back to you guys.
I'm going. Just to one quick comment. I'm going to Cologne next week, and by train. So it's actually quite a good train connection too here in Germany, of course. So if anybody wants to traveling around, trains
Yeah.
is a good way. Yep.
Yeah, it is. The trains are good here. I went to Koblenz last week and met another of our guides in Koblenz. We did a tour together. Yes, Catherine. Michael was born here in the town that he's walking around at the moment, Seligstadt, but he's spent the last 35 years in New Zealand. So we can call him both a Kiwi and a German.
Well, I
And
got two passports.
yes, my husband does too. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, so there's the beautiful basilica that Michael's showing us right now, and
It's a beautiful time here in the morning. It's a really major tourism attraction here, but it's at the moment nobody around. So it's a perfect time in the morning to have a walk around and enjoy the tranquility and look at all these trees they have. They call them here on the wall. We have Spalierobst. They're
oh yes,
basically having they're having pears and apples and whatever. That's what the old monks used to grow here, until the
fantastic.
1870s. So, anyway, back to you, Lynn.
Yep, we call those espalier. In
Hispania. Eh,
espalier, yeah, that
Yep.
technique. It's probably a French term, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, fabulous way of growing fruit. I'm going to bring up another image onto the stage. This one, for anyone who joined my tour the other day, where we went to the Cologne Cathedral, we weren't actually able to see the floors because they were roped off. So I did a little video and I added it with a link to the tour that I did. This is just an example of how beautiful those mosaic floors are in the Cologne Cathedral. So definitely worthwhile going and having a look at that if you can. Do they have similar in the Basilica, Michael?
Yeah, they do. It's a bit a bit more moderate. That kind of style of basilica. It's less. I mean, in the southern areas of Germany, like in Bavaria, you have a lot of gold and a lot of almost like Rococo style. But here it's very plain. It's kind of like sandstone, and they have a bit of mosaic in the church, but not as much.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's always really interesting to see the different styles of places of worship. I've just come from Southeast Asia, of course, as you probably know, and we've just had 7 months of temples, which are all beautiful, all very different. And now it's again completely different again to be in a place where you've got these soaring Gothic cathedrals, and in your case, it's the did you say it's a Byzant? No, not Byzantine. What did you say the style of this basilica is?
Yeah, good point. Forgotten it.
Don't worry, that's okay.
It's more. Sorry, it's more sandstone. I'll just show you a couple of sculptures here, which will kind of like it's quite interesting. Just walking past here, you got these little
Oh,
sculptures here,
little
sort of
statues on the
like
wall.
little angels,
Oh,
they're
yeah,
kind of lined up. That's all sandstone. The sandstone comes from nearby, from the Spessart Mountains. You see, there's one with some grapes. The wine growing was big business in those days. The old
yeah,
monks, they
yeah.
had their wine Bergen next to the across the river. I will
Mm.
talk much more about that next week because there's so much really. But yeah, that's the kind of style of this area here. Lots of sandstone.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, and that's really evident in the Cologne Cathedral as well. On the front edifice is the beautiful sandstone walls. They're constantly cleaning it because of the pollution, the city
Yeah, yeah,
pollution. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Now
Maybe
just a couple. Sorry, go on, go on. Yep.
just quickly, I mean, I'm just passing. Here's the herb garden. And again, at the moment, you can't just imagine how many people come through here in the afternoon. It will be very, very busy. But these are basically the traditional herb gardens the old monks had. So the whole place was fallen down a little bit. And when I was a kid, I was running around here in the ruins, more or less. That was when I was 5, 6, 7 years old.
Yep.
But since the 1970s, they have done a lot of work. This has been all beautifully restored, and it's just
Lovely.
incredible to have a coffee now. And so, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting a bit too excited, Lynn.
No, no,
So,
justifiably. Yeah, it's
oh, it's
gorgeous.
just gorgeous. Yeah, yeah.
You must love going back there. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I tell you what's the first. That's the only thing I miss really between New Zealand and Germany is that history, that
Yeah.
rich kind of culture. And the first thing I do, I go through town when I arrive, and I just absorb the atmosphere and
Yeah.
like yesterday I went through and I still remember those places like the old butcher, or where I was shopping, for my mother and all that stuff. But it's most of them are gone. My
Yeah.
background is a bakery family. We had 14 bakeries here in
Wow.
Seligenstadt, but only one left.
Oh,
So it's all family run. I mean, there's obviously big production bakeries, but so yeah. Anyway, back to you,
and
Lynn.
if you walk through any town, any street in any town in Germany, what's really evident is the bakeries, the baked goods, the breads. They're just amazing. It's a very key part of German diet is the breads and the wurst, the bread and the meat. These a quintessential German food. Definitely a breakfast food. Any hotel will give you bread and sliced meats and cheeses is the traditional breakfast in any hotel. I'm going to show just a couple of images that were quintessentially Cologne. So this is nothing to do with you, Michael, but these are just things that are typically Cologne. So the first one here, 4711, Echte Kölnischwasser.
Wow.
Does that mean anything to you?
It does actually. I can still smell it. My mother
Yep,
used to have it, 4711 we called it.
yep, yep.
4711, 4711. Gosh, I haven't seen that for ages. That's the first time since decades that I've seen a bottle like that. Thank you very much, Lynn.
That's okay. I took my voyagers, my viewers, on a walk through the streets of Cologne last week, and we ended up at the original house. There were two perfume factories. In fact, there was 4711, and there was Fabina, the two families, the two perfume houses, the oldest in the world. So we took them there. That was really, really interesting. And the second one I want to show, another thing that's different to you in Frankfurt, Kölsch.
Ah, the Kölsch.
So these tiny, tiny little glasses, they're only 200 mils. And that's unique. Kölsch is unique to Cologne. So in Frankfurt, of course, and around the main area where you are, the beer would be different. What's the typical beer in your area?
We had two breweries here. There's only one left. It's usually Pils or Export.
Yeah.
But what even big is Appleboy, apple cider.
Oh
That
yes.
is the big thing in Frankfurt. And I love that kind of mixture with either with water or with lemonade or whatever. So this is big here in that area because there used to be a lot of. It goes back to my family as well, because part of my family there used to be Schnapsbrenner. They used to do schnapps
Oh
on the
yes.
other side with apple, with pears, with cherries, all that stuff. It's yeah. Every region, as you say, Lynn, every region in Germany, they have their own kind of distinct, drinks and food, and it's so
Absolutely.
diverse. Really, it is.
It is. If talking about pear schnapps, I remember we visited one of Richard's relatives for a ski holiday in the South Tyrol. It was actually part of Italy, but they served Williams. Do you know Williams?
Williams Birner, yeah, Williams. Yeah,
Yep,
that's
pear
schnapps as well.
schnapps. Yeah, they were serving it on the ski slopes. They had little fruit
Yeah,
box set up with that, a bottle of Williams, and that's what we had. You warm up with that.
yeah.
Now, Natasha's just saying, my sister is a vegetarian. I remember her telling me they served meat and cheese and bread for breakfast. Yes, that's absolutely true. Every hotel, Natasha, vegetarians don't do so well in Germany, I don't think.
No,
Um,
I have to say, I mean, especially, it's lots more now than it used to be because there's so many other nationalities have moved in. We have a lot of Italian food as well, pasta,
yes,
whatever. I mean, it all depends. But I just want to show you here something just quickly. I'm just
yes.
walking through the Abbey Gardens here, not the Abbey Gardens, but the previous monastery really. What we have here, I'm not sure if you can see it in the distance. This is an old flour mill, and you
Oh,
talked
okay.
about before, yeah. And here you see the water race. So what they used to have in the abbey, really, they had their own kind of electricity supply, and it went right down to that mill here,
Yeah.
and where they obviously put the grain through. And next to the mill is that little bakery.
Oh, yes.
They do bake every Thursday still, and I've been here last year. I've come here every year, and the bread, they do about 300-400 breads, and they're sold out in a matter of minutes.
Oh,
it's
I bet
it's a
they are.
traditional
Yeah.
a traditional way they're doing that. Here you can see kind of an overview. Was it's basically the internal, the inside part of the monastery here, the Benedict
Oh,
Abbey.
it's beautiful.
It's
It's so
it's just
gorgeous.
gorgeous. Yeah,
It is.
yeah, and the old cobblestone here. So these were the, for the workers, and so it gives you kind of an idea. I mean, it's a perfect day today. I mean, I've
Oh, it's
taken full
stunning, isn't it?
advantage here of the weather. So I
Absolutely.
just
But are you
look at that.
finding also, oh, that's beautiful. Are you finding also, Michael, that the mornings are just starting to feel really lovely and crisp? There's a distinct chill in the air just starting to come through in the mornings,
Yeah,
which is just
yeah,
lovely.
definitely, yeah. And I mean, today will be a hot day, but my
Yes.
mother told me, I mean, it's been not too bad this year. Last year they had very hot days,
Mm,
up
mm.
to 35 degrees. But, you're right. I mean, it's getting, this is now the best time of the year,
It is.
from mid August onwards, September, there could be, less wind, a bit chilly in the morning, but otherwise lovely. Here's the mill. I'll just show you quickly.
Yeah,
Sorry,
definitely.
I'm
No, that's
taking
fine.
over again.
That's
Can't
okay.
help myself. Look at that. So this is the mill. So
Yep.
the water would have come through here, and it's all, and they're still operating this. It's quite a historic a
I see the
society here
wheels.
in town. Yeah, you see the wheel. I'll just go in the front here.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm running a bit. But yeah, it's quite. They really take it so serious, which is great, to operate these the old mill. Once in a while
Yep.
during the year, and you can also do a tour. There's a door here. You can go in there. So yeah, just to point that out. And here's the Backstube. That's the
I,
little thing. It's
yeah.
hard to imagine. Everything happens in there. They have the oven in there. It's all there. So yeah, sorry. Back
Now,
to you, Lynn.
no, Natasha's asked you a few questions. She says, well, first of all, she said she loves cider and she's praising your family for having so many talents. But she also asks, do you have these skills from your family, baking or alcohol distilling?
I do bake actually. I love my sourdough bread. It's in New Zealand, when I came to New Zealand about 35 years ago, there was not much bread as such,
Yeah,
um,
the
and I
diversity.
actually yeah, it wasn't that much, but now it's so we have a really good supply in bread. But no, I do bake my own bread in Germany. I've done my
Excellent.
own sourdough, and as much as I can. Yeah, but I'm not into schnapps and brewery. That's my brother's department. He loves his beer, and I'm more of a kind of a wine drinker. But yeah,
You and
no,
me
it's
both.
eh?
That's the New Zealand influence. You and me both. We prefer our wine, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, and
yeah.
it's. Oh, look at that! There's a whole wine. I mean, we're getting now a bit of late in the season, but look at that. There's a whole wine grapes hanging on the walls there.
Oh, great.
So it's all very picturesque.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
beautiful,
no,
isn't it?
that's hopefully that answers the question. But yeah, Parade, as you know, Lynn. I mean, Parade is very important for the Germans.
I'll tell you what else is
Somehow,
important. Sorry, I was just going to say, I'll tell you what else is important for Germany.
yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Definitely, definitely, and yeah, it's quite interesting. There was the other night I saw a television thing here, and they talked about the currywurst, and
That's
and
it.
it looks like
Currywurst.
the
There's,
currywurst,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah, and
currywurst.
and.
Yeah.
And in the old days, Linda, they used to do it traditionally. Yeah? They used to do their own sauce and all the rest of it. But now more and more, you have to be very mindful. And yet again, if you go into the smaller villages, into smaller places, you get authentic productions often, and in the big cities or in airports or whatever, it's all pre-mixed and all that stuff. But it's like everywhere, it's the same. And yeah, like there's a couple of butchers. I mean, like you mentioned before, the parade was it's very important, but also the sausages and that stuff. So there's
Yes.
still a few bakeries. Sorry. Metzgereien, which is butchery
That's
around.
right. Yep.
And
Hmm.
when I do the walk next week, we're passing by. We're basically walking through town, and I'll explain a little bit
That's
about
great.
this and that, and it's just fascinating when you walk in there. It's like a museum to me,
Yeah, exactly.
having all these pieces of.
Authentic.
Oh, and the smell. I mean, we can't
Yeah.
bring across the smell, but it's yeah. Anyway, I'm not a
Well,
great meat eater myself, but it's still fascinating.
a couple of people have commented "yum" to that sausage dish, and Natasha says that's huge. Well, I have to tell you that the people that we were having lunch with that day, the man we were with had a bratwurst that must have been twice the size. It must have been double the size of that sausage that I just showed you. It was huge. I'm sure it was a kibosh. I'm going
Yeah,
to show
it's
you. I'm going to show you another lunch that we had. We had, well, it was actually more of an evening meal with Richard's family a couple of days ago. Now, I'm sorry, Natasha. This one you might find a little unsettling because this is a specialty in Cologne, and everyone at the table was eating it. I abstained, but here we go. This is the raw
wow.
mince. That's the raw mince in that he's holding in the plate there, and the lady next to my husband is actually putting that raw mince straight onto her bread roll, and then they just top it with raw onions. So that is a typical. Is this a dish that's? Do you have this in in Frankfurt as well,
Yeah, yeah,
or
we had it. I had it as a kid. We called it tartar. They're they're
yes,
they're they're
that's it.
different. They're different types. I mean, there's the premium is beef.
Yes,
I
yeah.
believe that's what we had and as a kid. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that was everyone at the table ate that, but I had in the front you've got the liverwurst, the leberwurst. I had that instead, and then we've got some really nice cheeses off to the right. So there's a whole camembert there, but there's also the local cheese on the same plate with the camembert, which is called halverhahn, and that was the local cheese to this area. It's a
Right.
lovely lunch, but I stayed away from the raw mince. Sorry, Natasha, it's gone away now. You can come back now.
Hey, while you're talking about food, I'll just show you something. I just moved a little bit further.
Yep.
We are here in the Freihof,, which is just outside the Abbey. And this is where it all happens in respect of food here in Seligenstadt. You have this outside seating area, and it will pack up. I actually have a class reunion at 10 o'clock here. So we're catching up and having a lunch or whatever. But
What do you think, guys? Do you think we should all join Michael for his class reunion?
they will all be pleased. But interesting enough, there's an old. I mean, everything is so old. There's one
It's
hotel right in
gorgeous.
front of us here. It's called the Drei Kronen. That's where actually Emperor Napoleon stayed for apparently for one night when he came back
Oh,
1812 from Russia from his failed attempt to
wow.
conquer Russia.
Okay.
So it's all because I mean you in Cologne you have a rich history up there as well, but
Yes.
because of a central location right in the middle of Germany, and it was all part of the trading um, uh, um, uh, roads in those days. Seligenstadt was one of these places. All these emperors like Barbarossa and all these guys, they all came through here. And it's
Right.
it's just fascinating. And not to talk about the Romans. I mean, the
Yeah.
Romans, like in Cologne, they were in Cologne, they were also
Yep.
here. That more or less established Seligenstadt and around about 100 after Christ. So,
Yep.
anyway, just this is the foodie place.
It looks
Freihof,.
beautiful. It looks gorgeous. Yeah. It must be buzzing later in the day. Absolutely.
Mm,
And still on the topic of food, of course, coming into autumn, this is the season for mushrooms. And this is a photo I took in the local Saturday
wow,
market last week. They
beautiful.
call it Pfifferlinger, which they're actually chanterelle mushrooms. And it says that they're Serbian. Um, so cheap, though, I thought, for I bought 100 grams and we had that for breakfast the other day.
Wow.
Really lovely. Yeah. Natasha asked, Michael, did you see that new Napoleon film?
Yes, I did in the aircraft.
Oh, okay.
That's the reason it triggered me to. I read about it last night somewhere, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. I mean, it's not 100% proven because Napoleon wasn't in a good shape in those days. He
Right.
was kind of on the way out, and everything was a bit secret. The Europeans didn't like him, obviously, or some
Yes.
did, but others didn't. Uh, so they had the security was a bit of an issue, I guess. Yeah, but yeah, I saw the movie. Quite impressive, really. Um,
Yeah.
I love those
Well,
kinds of historic. Um,
historical movies. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, yeah.
All right. So I'm not sure that we have too much more to talk about. My upcoming tour is going to be Where Am I Wednesday, and we're going to be in Morocco. We're flying there tonight, so that'll be from Fez. So that's going to be absolutely fascinating. It's a part of the world we've never been to before, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's completely different to anything I've experienced before. But before we get to that, look at this beautiful, beautiful forest that I walked in here locally the other day. So this is in the neighbourhood near where we're staying, and I'm actually going to be. I've edited a little video into forest bathing. So some of you may remember I was doing forest bathing tours some time ago, and I've managed to put one together that I'll be presenting shortly. So that's the beautiful forest near where we're staying right here. Yeah, Natasha says it made me research a lot after I saw the film too.
Yeah, it's I just want to find, I just continued walking, and this is now the market square. This is the heart
Oh,
of Seligenstadt. And a little bit back to food. Here's food again. So we have a local market here I just switch it around again. And you tell me, Lynn, when it's enough,
all right.
when I showed enough, but it seemed to be now. So this is the market. We go there in a second. But up here, look at that. There's a historic building here.
But
It's
I'm
called
hearing
the Einhard.
chimes. I just heard some chimes as well. What was that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was the bells
Oh, look at that building.
yeah. It's basically a story up there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a man looking out there. That's Einhard, and there's a legend which I will go into more next week because I could talk and talk and talk. But
That's
I just want
gorgeous.
to quickly show you. This is the Rathaus, basically the city
Uh huh.
hall here from
Yep.
1600s, and here's the local fountain, and here, this is kind of the local market on the Saturday market. So it just gives you kind of an idea. This is, in respect of Cologne, probably very small scale, but it's just beautiful. You got cheeses over there, you got vegetables over there, but
Yum.
this is classic Germany, really
Yes.
small scale. And I highly recommend if you come to Germany, go to these smaller places.
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with Cologne, but it's just so beautiful to experience
Well,
that
we're
kind of.
actually closer to a town called Bergisch Gladbach, and that's where they had the
Ah,
Saturday
next,
market
that's that.
last week.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
They had a
Yeah.
lovely
Look,
Saturday market last week.
look at that. Look
Very
at that.
much like this. Yeah, that looks amazing.
Okay, I'll think it's enough. Otherwise, people say, look, this guy is a bit obsessed. So anyway,
All right, so this we'll take this opportunity to say welcome, Michael, to the new calendar as well. Sorry, welcome to the calendar. We're really, really pleased that you've decided to join us on the calendar. Michael's just started his first tour, which is obviously from Germany, and that's happening next weekend. And we're hoping that you're going to have at least one or two more as well while you're here in Germany and add those to the calendar, Michael. That would be amazing.
yeah, I will. And but when I'm back in New Zealand, I'll start my New Zealand tours as well
Yes.
too. So
And
yeah,
we'll be looking
I
forward to
still have
those.
a day job. I still have a day job, but I'll try to fit in one tour a week or so. Yeah, so
But I
I'll do
think you
what
were
I
telling
can.
me you're a travel agent, is that right? Like you're a tour
Yeah, that's
organizer?
right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a travel agent for New Zealand and Australia. But yeah, I'll really enjoy that. I used to be tour guide, so this is actually going back to my old days when I showed
Right.
people around, and I just love that. And I just love the opportunity doing it through virtual,
Yeah.
so people can
Right.
experience things they might not otherwise be able to see, and can maybe
Exactly.
even prepare. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Well, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else, Michael? I think we might finish up if that's the
No, I think
case.
it's good. I mean, it's just, a nice introduction. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Lynn. It's been appreciated, and I love
Absolutely.
catching up again with you at some stage, and
Definitely.
anybody else. So keep us posted. We're all big family here, aren't we?
Absolutely. And Jay says, Michael, your enthusiasm is lovely. Sarah says, congratulations, Michael. Catherine says, lovely to see you. So everyone's really keen to see your tours on the calendar. So you've got an audience waiting for you whenever you're ready to add your tours and events.
That is so nice to hear. Thank you very much, guys, and I can't wait to show you a little bit more, some
Awesome.
more stories about time goes so fast when I start
Yeah,
talking. But yeah, there's
it's
more,
fun.
really more to come. Going through the old town here, and it will be really fascinating.
And if you're watching this later, or if you get an opportunity, I have put our support links for both of us in the description for this video. So if you are able to, we both love coffee. So so if you feel that way inclined, if you love the tour, we're always very grateful for anything that supports us in what we're attempting to bring you moving forward. It helps us to research as well.
Yeah, and
Okay.
tasty the roaming feast.
Oh yeah, the data. Yes, exactly. All right. Thanks so much,
Okay, guys,
Michael,
good
and
to
thank
see
you,
you,
everybody. Yep,
and
I'm
have a
gonna.
great trip to Morocco. It's a beautiful place. Enjoy it.
I will. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Bye
Ciao,
for
ciao.
now.
Bye.
See you next time. Okay. Bye.